So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Curry Spot with me, Dr. Gill and
me, Amanda Potter. Thanks for coming back. Nice to see you. So, what is this? Thank you for my gorgeous bottle. But what is this? It tastes delicious.
Cheers.
There's orange in it.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me what it is. It's lovely.
Okay, well, what I wanted to do was to talk today about what you can do to improve your immune system, because we're so worried about it. I've still seen people absolutely terrified, even in this lovely sunshine, wandering around with their masks on, worried that they're gonna, catch this virus. And I haven't seen really anything over the last year about, well, very little, about what you can do with food. We'll talk about other aspects as well, but because I'm so interested in nutrition, it just seems such a glaringly obvious thing to do, is to talk about what to do to help your immune system with what you eat, what you put in your body. And what we do know from the kind of immunologists and particularly nutritional naturopathic type worlds who believe that food is medicine, like I do, is there are three things that we should all have been doing all winter, and I've certainly been doing that, which is making sure I'm eating vitamin C, I'm getting enough vitamin D3, and I'm getting enough zinc.
Yeah.
So have you heard that? Have you heard that?
I've heard that before, yes, but I've heard it along the lines of hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, so there's also antivirals, hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin have also been mentioned as well. Absolutely right. And the reason that the government many years ago said that we should eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day is to encourage us that we've got the bare minimum, the recommended daily amount of vitamin C in our diet, because vitamin C helps with growth and repair, it helps with our immune system, it helps with our teeth, it helps us to absorb iron. Vitamin C is this hugely important vitamin. And what we know is that there are some vegetables and fruits that there are high amounts of. So most people know, won't they, that lemons have got vitamin C, and you know that, Amanda, don't you?
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So citrus fruits are really high. The great thing about citrus as well is that although they're high in vitamin C, they're not too high in sugar. What a lot of people don't realise is that actually you get more vitamin C from things like cauliflower, sprouts, green leafy veg than you do.
No way. Didn't learn that at school.
What's really important with vitamin C, because it's an antioxidant, and antioxidants are the things that stop us getting cancer. It's no good just relying on one source of vitamin C, just having citrus, for example. You've got to have all sorts of different colours and different sources of it, which is why it's not eat 5 vegetables a day or eat 5 fruits a day. It was eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day.
Oh, right.
What's really interesting is that we should really be aiming for at least 10 different fruits and vegetables a day. When the government brought that kind of guideline in years ago, they thought, well, they'll never comply with that, so we'll just tell them 5 in the hope that they'll do that. But actually, if you were to speak to anybody that knows about nutrition, and of course, doctors aren't trained in nutrition, and I wasn't trained in nutrition as a nurse. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't have any nutritional training. Doctors, I think, get a half a day, maybe a day in a whole 5 years. And I know that it seems bonkers, but actually, no, they don't. There is a movement now with some doctors who are really interested in training as functional nutritionists. And so some doctors are interested in it and going and doing extra training afterwards, which is fantastic news. But, it seems so basic and obvious, but actually that's not happening. So what I wanted to do was to tell you the importance of vitamin C, particularly for your immune system and everything else. But by a happy coincidence, what I've also discovered is that by making this formulation that we've got here, actually the wonderful side effect of this is that it's a natural hydroxychloroquine.
No way.
So what I'll do is I will make a video the next time I make a batch of this to show you how easy it is. Because basically it's, I think this batch is 1 grapefruit, 1 orange and 1.5 lemons, because that's what I had in the fruit bowl. It's got, I think I put tonic water in this batch because that's got quinine in it. And quinine basically is the substance that hydroxychloroquine is high in, because hydroxychloroquine is used as an anti-malaria tablet. So it's quite interesting because the people that are taking malaria tablets, those areas of the world where that's a standard kind of over-the-counter drug, it's quite interesting because their rates of the coronavirus are not as high as you would think they would be.
I've seen that. I agree. Yes, because I was quite surprised.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when this whole stuff started, various people were talking about hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, which is another antiviral, and bizarrely, although this is a drug that's basically over the counter, you can get over the counter for pennies, it was withdrawn. And so we weren't able to access it. Doctors aren't able to prescribe it for anybody suffering with the symptoms of coronavirus.
Sorry to interrupt you, but why would hydroxychloroquine, when it works with malaria, and I know it works with lupus, why would that help with a coronavirus?
I'm quite fascinated by this because, as you know, I'm a bit of an expert on the cardiovascular system. My mother died of a blood clot in her lung when she was 56. So it's of a massive interest to me. But when we are stressed and worried, we're all subject to the toxins that we can't do anything about, and some of the toxins that we create ourselves. What that does is it creates an inflammatory picture in our cardiovascular system, in our blood vessels, and things like calcium deposits form and cholesterol goes up and fatty deposits form up, and our arteries become stiff and small as opposed to nice and open and flexible, which is how they are when you're under 23. So what the goal of having a good cardiovascular system, it's like the engine in your car. No point taking your car in to get its service without them looking at the engine. Would you agree?
I agree.
So what we've got to be able to do is to understand that, there's no point in just going into the symptom of, oh, I can't feel my feet, or I'm losing the sight in my eye, or I've got diabetes, or. We've actually got to look at the cause of that rather than just treat the symptom, which is the standard doctor GP approach.
Yeah.
It's called an allopathic approach. So the way that I've been working for the last 9 years, something like that, what I'm more interested in is the underlying cause. Because when we can identify that, then we can actually start doing something about it to help the body get back to its homeostasis, which is this lovely imbalance. And then the body will just sort itself out. It's very clever, it's done all sorts of things for us, all over the years. It breathes and we walk and we produce, skin and we can see and all the rest of it. So what's really interesting about the picture with those people that have been unfortunate to get the COVID-19 is a lot of what's gone on is the formation of blood clots, particularly in the lungs. And we're seeing now that the suspected kind of similar things are happening as a side effect of some of the jabs that people are having. It's being buried a bit, quite a lot, and not everybody is suffering with this, but there are enough people that are experiencing the formulation of these blood clots that some countries are going, actually we're just going to put a ban on this, or we're just going to try and work out what's going on. What we're aiming to do is produce this kind of wonderful vasodilatory effect, which is what L-arginine does. Lupus is a blood disorder, that's a similar, it's an autoimmune disease. So it's all kind of tied in, really. So the more that we can use things that are going to give us this beneficial opening effect, the more we're going to be able to help the body to cope with anything, the onslaught of whatever is going on, and particularly the virus, but also for a long-term effect, this is what's actually going to reverse our biological age, and that's the most exciting thing for me.
That is exciting. Cheers.
Cheers from me and Amanda, and we'll see you next time on the Curry Spot.
Bye. Come back again.